Hi, Tony.
Hello, Mariana. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Just terrific. I'm so excited to talk with you again.
Me
Um,
too.
Congratulations on season four.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Talk to me a little bit about really your job is to be in danger.
It is a little crazy. It's not every day that you go and meet an assassin, 10 minutes from your house. It is a crazy job, but I'm very passionate about what I do, and I think it's an important, part of the world to go and explore and watch and shine a light.
Truth has got to be a part of your soul, to be able to do this and to be able to do it correctly.
Mhm.
Um, what inspired you as a kid to be an investigative journalist?
I think I've always been very curious. I basically decided I wanted to be a journalist when I was 12 years old, and it was partly because I would watch the anchors on nightly news talk about everything that was happening around the world, and I just thought they were the most fascinating people that had all this knowledge. I didn't know that they were reading from a teleprompter, but at that moment I realized I want to have that knowledge, and want to have the opportunity to sort of retain that knowledge and also satisfy my own curiosity. So straight off the bat, I started applying for Columbia University journalism school. I didn't get in the first time. I didn't get in the second time, the third time. I flew to New York. I'm from Portugal, so I flew from far away, knocked on the dean's door and introduced myself and told him that this is my dream job. I want to be a journalist. And to be able to do that in America, I want to come to this school. And that was the beginning of everything.
Does it anger you the modern journal? I don't even want to call them journalists. They're just they kind of skip levels and print anything or do anything on social media. It isn't a bowl of truth, is it?
You're not going to find me criticizing other journalists or having anger towards anyone, but I do think we need more boots on the ground journalism. I think that a lot of the opinions that are had and the information that is being shared is happening inside closed rooms and less with actual boots on the ground investigative journalism. I am incredibly privileged in the job that I do, that I get to share with people the information that I gain from the ground. As
Mm.
journalists, we're seekers of the truth, and that truth comes from actually talking to people and being on the ground and seeing with your own two eyes what is happening around the world. And I'm happy to be able to share that.
And season four, you've kind of upped the stakes a little bit. It's really gets gritty. Are there moments when you're really truly afraid for your life?
Yeah, there were definitely moments, I think, in all seasons. This happens to be also my favorite season so far. I think, like you said, we really raised the bar. We tackled some really, really hard issues such as assassinations, black market medications, illegal immigrations, like issues that are actually relevant to all of us, scams, extortion. But there was one particular interview that we did for actually the premiere episode that aired last night that's now available on Hulu, which was about assassins. And we interviewed an assassin just 10, 15 minutes from my own home in Los Angeles. And it was chilling. He started off by threatening us and telling us that if by any chance, if he thought that this was a setup and if the police were to show up, he showed me his gun and he said he would kill us all. So things started off, iffy, for lack of a better word, from the start. And this is the case in a lot of times of the people that we interview, but obviously no story is worth a life, and I take the security of myself and my team very seriously, and there's a lot of security planning and yeah, that goes in place before we even hit the ground.
Are there hours and hours of just getting it right and
Oh my
and and
God.
pre-planning?
Oh, you have no idea. It's months and months of pre-production before, like you said, we start rolling even. And there's a lot of conversations. I've traveled around the world to places to meet with people thinking I'd be able to convince them to go on camera, and they refuse to. I've gotten very, very used to being rejected by now. But at the end of the day, I think people talk to us because for many reasons, one of which is this very human characteristic that we all have of wanting to be understood. I think we all share it. And we always give people that opportunity. We tell them, look, you'll have a mask, we'll disguise you. And I'm here not to judge you. I'm here to try to understand what you do. And that goes a long way.
National Geographic has been so understanding of you, haven't they? I mean, this is just a great company to work
Yeah.
for.
Oh, they're the best partners on so many levels. This is risky business that we're doing, right? It's a risky show. It takes a lot of resources, a lot of time, and they've really invested so much in making sure that we're doing the investigative journalism that needs to be done. And I am incredibly proud to be working for a place that is, as internationally recognized and trusted as National Geographic.
When people ask me about traffic, as they have, I just say, you have to watch this show to see a slice of life that you have never seen before, because there are desperate people out there. There are people that are trying to make money. There's a lot of it is legal, but a lot of it they're just forced into a life of crime because they're so poor.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the migrant smugglers that we interviewed in Mexico for this season actually told us, look, we saw him basically picking up a phone and threatening the sister of the migrant that he was smuggling, who was living here in the United States, and telling her that, bad things could happen to the brother if she didn't pay. And I asked him point blank, how can you do this? Like, we're talking about a human being. How can you do this kind of work? And he said, look, what you don't know is if I don't get that money, the cartel might kill me. So there's always a story behind a story. And I think one of the things we try to do with Trafficked is humanize people, try to understand their motivations, because without understanding their motivations, we're never going to be able to prevent these black markets from existing.
But when it all comes out, I mean, there are some pretty bad guys out there.
Of course, and it's hard to be empathetic with everyone. And obviously, we don't condone the criminal activities that they take part in. And again, yeah, really bad people out there for sure. But the experience that I have as somebody who's been covering black markets for over 20 years is that the vast majority of people do it because of the inequality that exists in this world and because of the lack of opportunities they're given.
Mariana, before I go, and thank you so much for your time. When you're not America's or the world's best journalist, what do you do for fun and just to relax?
I love my job, so this is what I do when I'm having fun. It's reporting, traveling, and going to places that people don't get access to. I really do, and I spend time with my family. I run a lot. It gets me motivated, and gets me going, gets me thinking. But yeah, I don't see it as work. When you wake up and you have the privilege of doing the job you do, you don't tire.
You also run a lot in the show too, so there you go.
Away from places.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for your time again. Traffic Season 4, National Geographic Channel. It is such a great show and so well produced. And all the best to you.
You're the best. Thanks so much for having me.
Bye bye. You take care.
You too.